Hi, a warm welcome. My name is Rob Yeatman from RockSolid Tutorials, and I'm here to help you revolutionize your guitar playing. So let's get straight into it. This video is all about how you can easily play the 12-bar blues in any key on the guitar. Okay, this is a great system, and I guarantee that if you can learn this, it'll revolutionize your guitar playing forever. Not only does it work with blues, it works with a lot of different styles of music too. It's very, very useful, these techniques. Okay, let's learn it first of all in the key of G, and then you'll immediately be able to see how you can transpose this idea into any key that you want to. The easiest way of approaching this is to go into the F chord shape on 3rd fret, which gives you G. Now the reason why this is useful as part of our RockSolid system is because you can transpose this chord up and down wherever you like to play, and we'll cover that just in a little while. Alright, so let's call that the 1 chord because it's our beginning chord of the piece. It's the most important chord of the piece of music that you might be playing. It's probably the chord that you start with and the chord that you end with. And that's what's called being in a key. So if the song starts with G up here and ends with G, that means to be in the key. So let's call that the 1 chord. Now most songs, and specifically a blues plays progression, but nearly every song that you come across will be based on 3 chords. These chords are called the primary chords of any key, and they're called that because they're by far the most important. You could say that they're the foundational chords of any piece of music. Okay, the 1 chord is the one that we start with and the most important. The next chord is called the 4 chord, and in the key of G, if we count up the musical alphabet, it goes G, A, B, C. C is built on the 4th degree of the G scale. It's built on that C note, and we're building a chord on there, which is our common C chord. Okay, now to give it a bluesy flavor, let's play it as a C7th. The little finger goes down here. Okay, which is 3rd fret of the G string. Okay, that chord is C7. So we've got G and C. Okay, now here's an easy system to be able to apply to these chords to help remember and get your positioning right, because then when it comes to transposing, it's easy. Okay, if we call our G chord, or if we consider the G chord to be based on 3rd fret, that's where the first finger is. Okay, so let's say that's the 3rd fret chord. Now, when we go to the 4 chord, which is C, we're actually taking the chord down 2 frets and going to a new shape. Now, bear in mind that these 2 fingers, the 3rd and 4th finger, are also on 3rd fret. So visually, that can really help you make your change from the G, the 1 chord, 3rd fret, down to the 4 chord. These end up on the same 3rd fret. Okay, that's the 4 chord. Okay, the next chord of the primary series, which is the 1 chord, 4 chord, and is the 5 chord. Now the 5 chord, if we count up from G, if G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, and D is 5. Okay, now we can play our D chord like that, which is the common first position, but I suggest that what we do is we take our C7 chord and we shift it up 2 frets here. So we've got C7 based here, as we know, based around our common C chord. If we shift it up 1, we've got C sharp, or if that finger's down, C sharp 7, and up another one, D7. This is just another rearrangement of the common D7 chord there. So here it is there. It's the C7 up 2. Notice that from the D7, the 5 chord, this first finger is also based on 3rd fret, like our 1 chord. So visually, if we're going from G, which is our 1 chord, across to the 5 chord, this finger just rolls over and forms the D7 chord. So here's the system. I call it the RockSolid system. Okay, in G, the 1 chord, the first finger's on 3rd fret. The 4 chord, let's play it as a 7th. It works good that way. These 2 fingers are now on 3rd fret. That's the 4 chord. When we come up to the 5 chord, shift that up 2 frets, and the first finger's now on 3rd fret. You see, So by thinking about this in terms of third fret, it's easy to get your placement for your chords. You're thinking that in the key of G is a third fret position. For that first finger, for these two fingers on your 4 chord, which is C7, and up to the first finger is still on third fret for your 5 chord. So we've got that position, that position, that position, and that position. So the first thing to do is just get used to that, going G, C7, 4 chord, D7, 5 chord, back to the 1 chord. You might reverse the order. So G1, cross to the 5 chord, D7. Remember, just shift these over, down to C7, and back to your 1 chord. Songs will have all different combinations of these 3 chords in. Okay, just one thing to remember, on your G chord, avoid playing the low 2 strings, the E string and the A string. You can play it as a bar chord, like that, but it takes all your fingers up. Because the first finger is being played as the bar, these are taken up playing your chord. It makes sense to play it like that, because then these fingers are free to be able to do little ornaments or... So you can do all that kind of stuff with these free little fingers, so it's good to play like that. Okay, with your 7th chords like that, be aware that you're playing the inner 4 strings. Avoid playing the outer 2, the low E string and the top E string. Against some chords they will sound okay. Actually against C7 it does sound okay. But let's say you're playing C sharp 7, then it sounds pretty bad. So develop the discipline just to play the inner 4 strings. Okay, so 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord. Alright, now let's say you wanted to play a 12-bar blues using these chords. Here's just a sample of what you might do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, that's a typical 12-bar blues, but bear in mind that you don't just have to play it in a blues style. It can be played in many other different styles of music too. Okay, now the next step is just to show you quickly how you can transpose that to any key. Let's say you want to play that in the key of B flat. Now B flat becomes pretty difficult to play on the guitar, kind of more difficult anyway in first position, but by using the RockSolid system, all you do is take up the G chord, up 1, G sharp, that chord is also called A flat, up to A, up 1 to A sharp, that's also called B flat. So there's our position for B flat. That's the 1 chord. Now in the key of B flat, the 4 chord is going to be down 2 there, and the 5 chord is going to be up 2 back there. So now we are establishing this chord around the 6th fret, because that 6th note happens to be B flat. 4 chord, 5 chord, back to 1. So your whole 12-bar blues, for example, in B flat would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to 1 chord. 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5 chord, 4 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. So you can see essentially it's the same as the first position that we learned, which was G, based around 3rd fret, but now we're basing it around 6th fret. So this is the principle. Once you've learned one position, and I like to teach it in G because we can relate to the chord of G quite easily in the key of G, then you can transpose it up to any degree that you like to play in. So this is very useful. You can play in now any of the 11 chromatic keys on the guitar really quite easily. Sometimes you want to play other chords, not just the 1 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord. Okay, but the principle is the same. They're all based around that kind of like initial fret. So thanks for your time today. I hope that this video has been of great benefit to you. I'm Rob Yeatman, and my intention is to propel your guitar playing from here to here and beyond. Now, if you want to know more about transposing these 12-bar blues chords into any key and the little ornaments that you can play, and just to learn in more detail, I have a tutorial for you. So please visit me at rocksolidtutorials.com.